There we go. We're back in business.
It!
Oh, we're having business. So much business happening right now.
So much business.
Seeing how the audible sausage gets made. Oh, yeah.
Audible sausage. What? Excuse me?
Audible sausage.
Audible
You heard me.
sausage. I don't. Ooh.
You didn't want to, but you heard me.
Ooh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 161 of Ignore the Backlog podcast. My name is The Real Portz, and Evil Space Bunny joins me also here on the podcast.
Yeah. That's true.
It's getting exhausting doing that, you know?
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah. It's just, I kind of want to switch it up, you know? Do you think people would mind if I'm like, hey, it's Ignore the Backlog podcast. It's Cat Dad here. No, I'm kidding.
God damn it. I fucking hate that character. Why did you do this?
I'm going to be that character the whole time we're streaming on Thursday.
I'm going to fucking kill you, and I'll just vomit onto my
It's not more
keyboard.
cringy than anything Jeff Keighley does, believe me.
Whoa. When Jeff Keighley does it, it's because he's adorable.
Uh-huh. He's hiding a cat dad
Adorable.
underneath, all right? I'm just being outward with it.
You think he's a cat dad?
No, I don't think he really has time to tend to any animals.
I'm googling this right now. Jeff Keighley has any pets? Question mark? No, nothing in his biography.
Yeah, I feel like
He's
there'd
not
be
married
a
either.
picture or something. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's weird that,
He,
I mean, his job is kind of his life, right?
yeah, his job is literally his
It's
life.
paying some dividends. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
It's probably lonely, though. Might
It's
be
so
room to
lonely.
squeeze in there. I'm just saying.
I'm so lonely.
We gotta get press passes one of these years, and then you can meet him and then fall in love.
I'll fall in love so hard.
Well, you've fallen. You can just say stay in
It's true.
suspended animation while he falls to
true.
meet you. Like, what are you doing down there, Evil Space Bunny?
I've fallen for you, Jeff. Get it? I've fallen for you.
Well, guess what? I fell for you too. I personally picked out your company that gets 20 downloads a month to
oh my God!
to come here and be press, quote unquote.
Yes. Thank
It
you,
comes with
Jeff.
strings attached. All right.
Oh my God.
That string is from my heart to my hand. My heart's in my hand is what I'm trying to say. He's not good with words, that Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. That's kind of fine. I'm okay with this. That makes him more adorable as he fumbles over his words.
Yeah. I don't know why he got breathy all of a sudden, but, you know, what can you do?
I did?
No, he
I'm
did.
sorry.
I'm saying
Oh.
my rendition of him was real breathy.
I was just thinking about Jeff falling for me. That's all. You know.
No, this is normal. You being breathy, it makes sense, yeah.
Can't help it. Weird.
Uh,
I'm fucking weird.
how
Anyway,
you
speaking
doing?
of weird,
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good.
Cool.
Oxford. Everybody got mad at the Oxford Dictionary this year
Why?
because of the word of the year was nominated.
Nominated.
Well, I guess it was awarded. The winner is Goblin Mode, but it's hyphenated, and people are like, "That's two words."
Goblinated?
So they're mad at it. Goblin Mode.
Goblin mode?
Yeah, that's the winner of the word of the year. I go Goblin Mode. Do you know?
I've never
do you
heard
know what
that.
Goblin Mode? What? Really? Goblin Mode means you're like super lazy and you're just like fucking not doing anything. And you're just like being a little degen and just fucking not showering for 3 days because you work from home and you don't have to do anything.
Man, we are dumpster diving for words, aren't we? Jesus Christ. You know, people say that language evolves and more, words get out of the dictionary. Yes, that's true, but not the first part. Evolve is debatable. I would say
Mhm.
degenerates.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the fucking words that Gen Z comes up with, and millennials. It's not just the generation after me. Like,
no, it's
sus,
both. It's all of us.
right?
Sus. Yeah.
Shortened version. Based, I think, is
yep.
short for some other sentence. Probably based in reality or something. I don't know. Who knows?
It's just based.
Yeah. Also, the etymology of words is probably getting a lot less interesting. Like, oh, a streamer said this once.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's where that word comes from?
Yeah.
Great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What an educational experience.
Yeah. That's been happening a lot where streamers will, like, have their lingo and then it floods it way into other people's stuff. And so other
Which is fine for a culture to do that to itself. It's not fine to have an authority recognize it, okay? That's where the buck needs to fucking stop.
When it becomes mainstream.
Just don't just let it be a fucking slang word. What, do we still have those or not?
Well, that's what it is. It is a slang word, that one.
Oh, they categorize them.
Yes,
that's
they
fine.
categorize.
I haven't read a dictionary ever, so my opinion on this doesn't really have any weight to it.
That's fair. You were homeschooled. It's only fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Still don't know the difference between it and a thesaurus. So one's a dinosaur. I know that, but I can't remember which one.
You're wrong. They're both dinosaurs. Anyway, what did you play this week?
To transition off that, I have nothing dinosaur related whatsoever. Should have made you go first.
How fucking dare you?
No, I played Ark Survival. No.
I'll be surprised.
Fuck. I actually forgot to put a list together. I know of the two games, the big games that I played, but let me double check I didn't play anything else. So I'll talk about the first one that I already told you about. We've been chatting about, which is the Callisto Protocol.
Okay.
This game is from one of the head people, the creative director maybe, behind Dead Space, the first one, and maybe some other people from Dead Space. I have no idea.
A lot of the people from Dead Space, from what I've read.
I've read conflicting things about how many people that is, but
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of conflicting shit because, the internet.
Yes, the internet exists and is terrible, and the only reason we can do this in the first place. So it's great.
Also true.
Actually, well, I mean, we could be recording it on a tape deck and it'd have roughly the same influence on society.
Oh, you think so? You probably, actually. We would have to pass it around.
We could just mail it to people. It'd cost a little money, but, it'd be fine. By the way, all those podcasts, some people try to sell you on their Patreons and shit, and we might do this in the future, so don't hold it against us, but they're like, hey, to keep the lights on, donate or, blah, 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 blah. That's all. Our lights are fine, and we're doing a podcast, so podcasting is not that expensive. I'm just saying. So the games that I played, Callisto Protocol is kind of the survival horror game people have been waiting for, right? I mean, especially new IP. Like I can't think of anything that was more hyped in that genre, or even forthcoming at all in that genre in a while.
Yeah, I think this game, Scorn and Choo Choo Charles has been like the top horror games that have been like.
Don't know what Choo Choo Charles
advertised.
Is.
Really? You might like that.
Really?
It
sounds indie terrible, but I mean, maybe.
So the indie dev for this guy, he is an indie dev. He's a single dev, and he's been working on this for a while. And it started off really jank, not gonna lie, but he's put so much fucking work into this thing. It looks amazing. Basically, you're being chased by Choo Choo Charles, which is a psychotic spider train, and you have a train too, and slowly you upgrade this train to fight Charles. That is the goal.
Would Thomas the Tank Engine not give their license, or what was the deal?
Well, I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have had their blessing for this thing. I mean, this is what it looks like here, and it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, but if you could turn Thomas the Tank Engine, there's no way they didn't want that license. There's no way they wouldn't have used it if it was available.
I'm sure.
Great.
But it's
Wow.
one single dev. So yeah.
That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this for like a year.
Do you think that's hit the same spotlight as the Callisto Protocol?
No, I don't think so, but I know this has gotten a lot of hype.
Sure.
Other people that I've
People
never...
in the horror community are desperate. I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, yeah, after this.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, surely people are cat's out the bag at this point. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen anything deeply negative other than the PC performance is pretty fucking dog shit. After the patch, it seems to be a little better. I haven't gone back in after the patch, so probably should have done that before this podcast, but I didn't do that, and we'll get to why right after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my thoughts, and I wrote these down before I read any reviews. Not that does anything other than hopefully convinces you I didn't just copy paste what I read on IGN or whatever, because it is a lot of the same sentiments. The combat, first of all, feels exactly like a QTE segment. Well, not exactly. I'm exaggerating. But it feels so much like a QTE thing that I loathe getting deeper into the combat. Like I can't stand it because it's obvious. At this point, I'm about 5-6 hours in, which is over halfway, according to reports of how long the game is, which is about 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
It seems like they're not going to give you the ammo to just shoot your way through the game like a Dead Space game, which is fine. You can switch up the game. Like it doesn't have to be a Dead Space clone, although it's very obvious they're going for one, which is fine. They made it before, right? It's from the Dead Space guys.
Right.
But the melee combat, the way it works is so the first enemy you meet, you get locked into like this little, it almost feels kind of cutscene like, where they're showing you how to do it, and it's slow mode so you can dodge correctly and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then the next enemy, the same thing happens, but they don't slow it down. You're like, wait a minute, why is it like it's kind of weirdly cinematic? And all you have to do, the dodge mechanics are just on keyboard, hold A or hold D constantly until something swings at you. And then once they swing at you, usually you want to dodge a second time, so dodge the other way. Whichever way you chose, dodge the opposite way. Doesn't matter which is crazy.
Yeah.
And you just do that over and over again. Usually twice to fight one guy, and then bang the shit out of him, with your little stick. I don't know what they give you.
Yeah, they give you like a bat thing.
Yeah, it to start, it's like a pick, some sort of like a pick that's been like the end is offered or something. But yeah, so it's kind of QTE because of the dodge thing, where you just hold any button, like whichever direction you want to go. It doesn't matter which way he's aiming. It just dodges. But if you don't do it the opposite way, he'll hit you. And it's weird because a QTE would be like they're coming a specific way, but you have to hit a specific button prompt. So it's a little different in that regard. But the fact that they lock you into this weird cinematic, it's like tab targeting. Like in Witcher or like
Batman.
Like anything. Where you're locked in, like you have no choice but to face this enemy right now. Except they do that without your permission, and it sounds harsher than it is, I guess. But I don't like this aspect at all. The camera locking sucks because as soon as they introduce more enemies, you get overwhelmed and they start coming from behind. I was talking to a friend today who said he didn't really have that experience, except once. I don't know how that's possible. He's a little bit further than me, so I don't know. Maybe my game's
Maybe he's getting hit a lot
broken.
more.
Maybe he's just not admitting something to me. I have no idea. Well, I'm getting hit a lot because I don't care. As soon as I figured I figured out that this is the combat system, I said, fuck this shit. I cranked the difficulty all the way down. I'm like, it's not worth learning. It's not worth engaging because it's not a fun combat system. I fucking hate it.
Oh, that bad. Okay.
Hate it. like I said, it's a little cinematic, which is nice because the game is very good looking, super good looking.
When it's not a slideshow.
What do you mean by slideshow?
I've watched a couple. So I've watched 3 playthroughs. They're all shortened down, obviously. So it's not everything, but it shows like a lot of it. And like there was one streamer who was playing through it, and it was literally 5 FPS. It looked like a Microsoft. He kept calling it, "Oh, it's time for PowerPoint, everybody! It's time for PowerPoint," and it was the funniest fucking shit.
That's so weird.
But another person kept saying that it was like, "Oh, I just do whack, 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 dodge, dodge, whack, 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 dodge, dodge, whack, 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 dodge, dodge," and that's what he was saying like the whole time during combat, and everybody was losing their fucking mind.
Dude, so I was watching Sing Sing play it, who's like a ex-Dota streamer, and he goes, "It's like a turn-based strategy game." He's like, "It's okay. It's their turn to attack. Now it's my turn to attack. It's their turn to attack. Now it's my turn to attack."
Oh no, it is. Oh no.
Yeah, that's yeah. So the FPS problems, I really didn't have that many. I had some like in transition periods where the frames would drop. I really didn't have that bad of a time with the performance. So the slideshow comment like almost doesn't make any sense to me because I haven't seen how bad it can get. And by the way, I played on launch night, the night it came out, like technically the day before because it's like 9 p.m. for the West Coast.
Yeah.
So yeah, combat, fucking, I hate it. I've seen David Szamansky from Dusk fame praise the shit out of it.
Yeah,
which confuses the fucking shit out of me. Boy, let me tell you, if I could interview one person, I bet it would be that guy. Because, wow, he's got some weird video game taste. And makes games I like. It seems impossible for those things to exist at the same time. So there's also the story. Everyone will tell you pretty much right off the bat in any review you read, it's basic. Barely anything happens. It's so like just you can look at the box art and know exactly what's going to happen in this game, right? You're imprisoned. Yeah. There's space aliens, and then I haven't gotten to the end, but boy, I bet you escape.
Wow.
Or I mean, maybe they'll go dark and you die, but I bet they want to sell another game if it does well. Like my God.
I mean, even Isaac,
even Isaac got to. Yeah. Obviously, don't.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't spoil it. It could. Hey, maybe it'll wow me, but from what I read in the reviews, it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also, actually, wait. No, I did read something that kind of spoiled it, where they said that the story is going to continue in the DLC. They think so. That I bet they don't die. Sorry, weird. Half spoiler to half spoiler, third party half spoiler. There's a couple things that stood out to me as I played. By the way, the sound design, amazing. I don't think I have heard, and it's hard for me. I'm not a sound engineer, so I don't really know what they're doing to make it sound better than other games. I really don't. Mm-hmm. But everything sounds like it's in its place. And it is what it would sound like. And that sounds like a basic thing, but a lot of games use generic sound and, put it in there. It seems kind of half-assed. A lot of even AAA games do this. This game, fuck, the quality, what things sound like, the creepiness of the, Jesus Christ. Just the whole atmosphere of the game rides on its visuals and the sound. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which are amazing. I wish the game was like more fun to play. Yeah.
This is what I've heard about it. I'm not gonna pick it up.
Sure. I just want to say real quick, Faye came in to watch me a little bit, and she said I was in this like sewer poopy area, like there was like poop water everywhere. She was like, "Oh my God, I can like smell that. That's like how intense that looks." It's disgusting, and it's great. Oh my God, they nailed the
poopy water.
Everything. Everything you see is like, I believe in that space thing you're showing me, or even space prison sewer. But yeah, go ahead. What did you take away from the couple of streams you watched?
So the streams that I watched and the videos that I've watched following up with this, because I really wanted to know, because like it was just all over fucking Twitter, and I just like I have to get to the bottom of this myself. But like yeah, a lot of people having a lot of frame issues still. I think you also just have a beefier machine, and maybe it's because people were streaming it and playing it at the same time.
That makes
can
sense.
Also cause FPS issues. But yeah, I watched somebody go through that sewer section, and it was 7 FPS for them.
Oh, what? That was like the smoothest part of my gameplay.
They had to turn off like all the stuff and then turn it all the way down to like the lowest settings.
God,
and
that
it
hurts.
It looked like an Xbox 360 game. It was so bad.
Well,
and like they were just making fun of his hair the whole time.
I will admit the hair is probably where the visuals break down, even on the highest settings.
Yeah.
But no game lives up to my hair standards.
But a lot of people have been pointing out similarities between the two games, Dead Space and this game, and like hit the tentacles, hit the limbs from Dead Space. A lot of nods visually. And story-wise and stuff like that. And so a lot of people are complaining. It's like, well, this is just an updated, rehashed Dead Space,
but
with a slightly different story.
It's only updated in the visuals, really. I think everything else is a step backwards, to be honest. Well, the visuals and sound design, everything else is pretty much a step backwards.
Yeah.
You even move slower than Dead Space 1.
What? He was like a boat. I hated it because he was such a
I think he does. I mean, I don't know how you could. I'll have to go back and see, but it's hard to measure speed between two different video games. But yeah, it feels about as lumbering as you could possibly be. And there's not a tanky suit to like, justify that with.
Yeah.
He's just a beefy boy with no cardio experience, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. My takeaway from the whole thing was
you're not playing it.
I probably won't be playing it for a while this year. I've given up on AAA titles, and I'll go into that in my
for
segment.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote a couple notes about the Callisto Protocol world that kind of bother me. One is, why would these humanoid infected things know how or even want to use the vent system?
Oh, yeah.
How? It doesn't make any fucking sense. At least in Dead Space, they're weird fucking claw creatures that like crawl. These are upright, lumbering zombie things. What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then, the fucking shops. Okay? This is a small thing. It's so small that no one else is thinking about this, at least as far as I've seen. But in Dead Space, when you go up to an upgrade station, you're literally you're engineering. Isaac is an engineer. You engineer with materials the shit you need for a new suit or to upgrade your weapon, right?
Yeah.
In this game, there are kiosks to sell you weapons and upgrades to your weapons, which means that this game exists in a world where this space prison has its own capitalist economy, where they expect their officers to buy their own batons, which is insane. And not talked about at all. If that's what they were going for, I don't think it was. I think it's just an oversight where they're just like, yeah, you buy stuff in video games. I don't know.
You buy stuff. It's there.
And I'm saying buy because you're not spending resources. You're literally using the fucking currency called Callisto coins or whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh, my God.
So it's like, so do we have like a security guard that's like eating like a king? Like he's like having lobster for every meal and shit. But he's just got a fucking stubby little shitty baton. And then his coworkers are like, you know what? I'm eating top ramen every meal, but I got this fucking spiky little bitch that's going to put some people in their place.
That's why you hire maniacs, and they'll definitely be the ones buying that shit and be like, well, Johnny got a new stick. Oh, I have to go get a new stick.
Not a prison system that would work.
No, that would be the worst prison. Actually, that makes sense in space. You want the worst people in the worst place running it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Callisto Protocol. I think I'm gonna finish the game just because I really enjoy the atmosphere. Like every time I pass by like a new thing, like the sewers was awesome. There's like this botanical, like, I don't want to say garden, but it's like it is a garden, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
With these rotating like plants and shit. It's just everything that it has such detail visually in the environment that I'm very interested in seeing each new area. So I'll finish it for that reason and fucking hate myself all along the way.
That sounds like
this is why I can't decide if I like the game, because I actually really want a sequel to this game, and I just want them to make better combat. With how many like Callisto combat stands are coming out of the woodwork, I don't know if we're gonna see a massive deviation from it, but maybe they can come up with something that's actually marketable to regular people who don't hate themselves, like Resident Evil fans.
Fair, valid.
It's like Resident Evil fans are working with fixed cameras and like, oh my god, this is amazing. You can actually fucking dodge? Holy shit, this is incredible. It's like, well, keep up, all right? That was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, come on. Get your fucking shit together.
Yeah. So, yep, Callisto Protocol. I guess I want to say I'll finish this week, but don't hold me to that shit.
Fair.
Because here's what's been really captivating the shit out of me. All right, here's the singular game. All right, the single game that makes 2022 a good year for video games for me. All right.
Oh, okay. Holy shit. Okay.
Midnight Suns. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
What?
I am straight up heroin needle in my arm addicted to this game.
Oh my god. I
played
shocked.
25 hours between Saturday and Sunday.
Oh my god, Portz. I'm shook.
I couldn't think of other video games while I was playing it, which is absolutely what I've been waiting for forever for a new game to do for me. God of War didn't do it. Callisto obviously didn't do it. Call of Duty didn't do it. This game. Oh my god. And holy,
it's so good.
Fuck, it has so much content.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, there's 65,000 lines of dialogue in the game.
So something ridiculous. This is the XCOM Marvel game, yeah?
It is. It is and it isn't. Yes, it's turn-based, it's Marvel, and it's by the people who do XCOM. But XCOM I think of as kind of a frustrating RNG experiment where you have percentage chances to do a thing and then you try and then fail and then reload your save and then try again, right? Mm-hmm. That's my experience with XCOM, and I hated that. I love turn-based shit sometimes, but I've learned that I'm kind of a casual fan. I don't like delving super far into the tactics because of shit like that, where it's like, well, you had a 75% chance and you failed. Like, fuck you, okay? I set up my guide to do that shit. If that's what I was supposed to do, I should succeed. Like, that's the shit that just drives me insane.
Right, yeah.
This game is a little different. There is some RNG still because there's a little bit of a card game going on as well, but not really much of one. I've been fucked on it a couple times, but not very many times. You only have so you go into combat with 3 heroes.
Okay.
And you can make you have to have your own, who's called Hunter, and it's like a pretty generic thing. I don't think it really exists in the comics, and it's kind of a blank slate to experience all the other hero shit going on. Although there are choices to be made, and it's a real character, but it's just not the best one.
A main character. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, you control it, but it's not. You're not going to the game for that character. You know, you're not playing Spider-Man. You're not playing Iron Man. You're playing this sort of friend to those people. And by the way,
Hunter.
friendship, big deal in this game. The stupidest teaser I've ever come up with for a game. So, holy fuck, where do we begin? So there's the tactical turn-based stuff. There's a card game on top of that where you go in with 3 heroes, and each of them have their own decks, but it's only 8 cards in each deck, and you draw like a couple cards randomly between those 3 heroes per turn.
Okay.
Now, there are things that, holy shit, there are things that can extend turns. Like, there are quick attacks that can, if you knock somebody out with that attack, you get that card turn back. So you can extend your turn forever, almost.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is, it's great. If you can, like, chain it right, it's harder to do, but it is possible. So there's the tactics part, which I think is brilliantly fucking simple. You draw the fucking cards, you know what they do, you click on a guy, and it fucking happens. There's almost no situation where it's like, it might do this. Almost no. There's a couple things that break that. Well, there's one main thing that breaks that rule, which is you can, like, knock back somebody off a ledge or into a hole, and they have, like, a chance to just instantly die. And that's pretty much the only chance-related thing. Okay, so zoom out from the tactics side. You have, like, this third-person little exploration adventure game going on where you have what's called the Abbey. It's like your base of operations. By the way, Midnight Suns apparently is this, like, super occult-like comic bend in the comics where they delve into witches and magic and shit like that. Like dark magic, like, and
Doctor Strange and, like,
Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. Yeah, exactly. I don't know anything about comics, so this is all new to me, which is great. I love the deviation. I fucking love, like, renditions of shit. Like, I've had so many arguments with a buddy of mine about like the Joker in the Nolan films. And he's like, it's not the Joker. I'm like, it's a different Joker. Like, why can't you wrap your head around that? I'm not the guy who can't wrap his head around that. I fucking love that. Give me every little take you can on these characters. Now, that being said, the take on most of the characters in this game are pretty generic. Spider-Man is literally the same voice actor from Marvel's Spider-Man that recently came out on the I guess 4, and then Miles Morales
5,
and shit.
Yeah.
Well, Miles Morales is a different character, but
okay.
The white Spider-Man, it's the same voice actor, but they were very clear it's not canon, canon that Spider-Man. It's a totally different Spider-Man, which is fine. But it acts exactly like him because the guy only knows, how many different ways can one person act Spider-Man?
Right.
Which is fine. It's a great fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could still have, like, a same Spider-Man in a different parallel universe. That's how I always, like, perceive, like, spinoffs and stuff like that, as just, like, a different.
Yeah, well, 100%. I agree. Tony Stark is kind of doing his best, which is kind of bad. Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark. Doctor Strange is almost doing a Tony Stark thing too. It's kind of weird. It's comic booky. Right? I think the story is pretty it's like predictable and campy, but I think it works really well. Just because the spin on it that they push, and so I mentioned friendship earlier. There's a weird Sims style social relationship you have to keep up with people, where you have to do different activities with different people, like give them gifts. It's
oh my god,
only
I realize what this is.
Escalation to the Dragon Age gift giving.
I was just gonna say this is Dragon Age.
A little bit it is. Yeah, 100%. So you can think of the Abbey as like the Dragon Age camp, except there's so much. There's like Metroidvania exploration of the campus that you're on.
Wow.
Where you have to go unlock things, solve little mysteries, and by solve I really just mean explore everything and wait for the right times to happen. But it's still a satisfying experience. And all the while you're running around looking for shit, you're collecting, crafting shit. You can craft stuff. Oh my God. The amount of ways you can craft things is staggering. You can craft cards. You can craft upgrades to cards. You can craft combat items, which are free to use. They don't use a card turn. Every single fucking day that you spend in this game, something new pops up. I'm on day like 12 or 13. Yeah, it's taken me that long to get through it.
Jesus.
And every day you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You wake up and I got invited to a fucking what do they call it? Shop class club by fucking God damn it! What's the Flaming Skull guy's name?
Nicolas Cage played him. Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
I said Death Rider.
I think it's technically a different character than that, but it's still the Ghost Rider mantle.
It's still fucking Nicolas Cage. It will always be Nicolas Cage.
I wish it was Nicolas Cage in this game, but it's not. It's okay. He and Peter Parker invite you to join this little class where they come up with shit for you to like grab new cards, and it's just like I said, the amount of systems. I think they're all relatively shallow, but the breadth of them is staggering. I like that because I usually am not the min-maxy type, like get crazy far into a system. So the fact that they're all sort of shallow means that I get to dabble in everything, and I basically see it all. And it's great. Yeah, I feel 100% like this game was like made for me, and the way I like to play games.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. I haven't clicked with a game like this in like 3 years, maybe more.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very excited. I can't wait to play more. This podcast is pulling me away from the game.
Well, let's get through it. So you could talk. Or I guess you could do it. You could do more stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do the things.
Hell yeah. I know it's turn-based, so you probably won't play it, but I will. I will be
No.
talking about this for several weeks. I'm fairly certain.
I mean, I like some. I like some turn-based games. I was literally.
What's an
talking about this
example
on stream today.
of one that you like?
A turn-based game that I really like that breaks the mold for me is like Legend of Dragoon, which is an old PlayStation 1 game. And then on top of that, there's a tactics-style game called Gladius. That is a GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation, I think, 2 game. And it's a game that I still think about to this day, every once in a while.
Interesting.
It's the only one that lives rent-free in my brain. Free.
Huh.
Brain.
Okay.
Okay. So
What'd you actually play this week?
me? My
Yeah.
turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, my turn. Okay. So I played quite a bit this week. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of Ark. I've been puttering around in Minecraft. I got sucked back into Farthest Frontier again. Fuck you. But I attempted to play the new Warhammer game. And I played this last week while it was in beta. And I'm going to emphasize it was fine in beta. I had a few issues. I found a few bugs, but they weren't game breaking, right? It was more like, this is janky. Hopefully it gets fixed.
And the new Warhammer game is
Warhammer 40K Darktide. It's
but
like
it's-
Vermintide
It's
and Left 4
Vermintide.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Vermintide and Left 4 Dead, kind of. And I went to go load it up, and it's literally unplayable for me. And a lot of other people are running into this issue now. As soon as it was officially released, the patch did something, and it just fucks with some people's computers. So I had all 3 incidents. Some people were having... I had all 3. So I had FPS issues, which was fine. As soon as we load into the game, it's fine. But what kept happening to me was I would be stuck running forward. Could not stop myself. That means I can't swing. That means I can't defend myself.
That happened to my buddy in Call of Duty this week.
And I could not stop myself, and it became
funny.
unplayable.
Wow.
But then what also was happening to me during this whole shit show, FPS drop, dealing with that, and my sound would cut out, not in game, but everywhere else on my computer. aka Discord, where I'm trying to communicate with people and coordinate with people as we try to take down like entities and shit in the game. My game sound would be fine, but all of a sudden Discord would just stop working. Nothing in my settings changed. Nothing. And like other people are reporting on that too.
Wow.
So I had the trifecta. So I literally have thought about refunding it, but I can't because I'm at 4 hours due to the beta.
That counts? That's so fucked.
I'm so fucked.
Wait,
I'm so.
Have you tried? I bet Steam would still do it if you said
maybe.
like these hours are from the beta or whatever.
Maybe I will try and see, but yeah, I'm genuinely really mad, and stuff. And then Callisto Protocol.
How much
came
is that
out.
game?
I think this one is $40.
Okay,
It's not AAA, but
a
yeah,
little better.
Yeah, it's a little better. It's better than fucking $70, but yeah. So yeah,
Don't at me.
I was pretty mad. I was pretty tilted, and just like so I'm just like I'm done. I'm done with fucking AAA titles. So I played indie game. I went back to my indie games.
Your indie
I
roots.
played this delightful little game called Title Pending. It is meta as fuck. You are a video game tester, and you're testing video games while in a video game.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. It has a lot of nods to Stanley Parable and nods to Davy from Beginner's Guide and Stanley Parable. There's even like little hints and stuff from the Beginner's Guide, like the notes that were the bubbles from one of the levels that Coda makes, and a couple other things. And I think I found a lamppost, and just a lot of nods to that specifically Stanley Parable. Very, very similar with like a narrator, although he's the game developer and he's trying to walk you through as the tester, and you're trying to figure out what's happening as this like rogue AI has taken over and tries to stop you. It was really good, loved it. I played that, beat that, and then since it's Christmas season, I went to play the 2 Christmas games that I own on Steam. One of them.
Do I own any? I don't know if I own any.
You might want to check out one of these, but I played this one by Puppet Combo called Christmas Massacre. You are a psycho class.
You know, a title like that really just reinforces everything my parents think about video games.
Honestly, it does. So you're a psychopathic man dressed up as Santa Claus, and you go kill stoner kids and people who are drinking and
hey, that's a good message. Actually, I think my parents would be on his side.
Going to porn movie theaters and stuff like that, and it's all because
but killing those people or watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you're killing those people.
Yeah, they're still on board.
Yeah, you're basically killing all the degens as Santa Claus. And well, you go kill
brother.
nuns. You go kill nuns eventually, but it's fucking crazy. But basically your Christmas tree talks to you and he tells you to go kill and all this other stuff, and eventually he turns on you and says, I turned on you, Larry. I had to. The FBI was gonna. I can't survive in prison. It's the funniest.
Starring Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, we just kept calling him Larry the Cable Guy the whole time.
Do you stream this?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I streamed this on Sunday. And then I'm gonna try to splice that one up and I think put it on YouTube, but it's probably gonna get fucking stroke. The other one I played was fan-fucking-tastic, and it needs more recognition. This is a new game that just came out this year called Krampus Kills, and it is a Doom-style fucking shoot-'em-up game. You are a shitty little piece of shit kid who pissed off Krampus, and you're just running around ruining Christmas and trying to get off the naughty list. That's the whole premise, is you go to hell, fight Krampus, and get off the naughty list.
This game looks horrifying.
It is so good, dude. It was surprise. It was surprisingly really well. The weapons felt good. The movement felt good. Even though you didn't have like a constant run like you do in Doom, you have stamina in this. But if you kill things and you're just on a killing spree, it recharges your stamina. And so you're just running around and you're trying to escape Krampus this whole time.
Holy
so there's
shit.
there's like a sneaking element too, but it's not terrible. And like you definitely outrun him. There's snowmen that kill you and just a bunch of stupid shit. So you get a bunch of crazy weapons as time
Krampus
goes
looks
on.
like the butcher from Diablo.
He does look like the butcher from Diablo. Yeah, and then the elves that he has, they look like Dobby, and we just kept calling him Dobby from Harry Potter.
I don't know what that is.
You haven't seen Harry Potter? What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, so you're the shitty little kid. Oh, the best part is, you know how F is flashlight in most games? It's a different button in this game. I can't remember what button it is, but if you hit F, you flip off people and you say a shitty Duke Nukem quote, but differently.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. I think that alone sold me. I love little troll buttons like that.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Wait, are there more Krampus games, or is that not the same person?
I don't think so. This is done by Dangerous Bob Studios,
Okay.
and he's done a few other weird games like this, but this one literally just came out. It's about 2 hours.
I didn't expect multiple Krampus results on my Steam search, but there's 3 games. Interesting.
That's funny. I guess I'll have to look those up and maybe try to play those too. But yeah, Krampus Kills, definitely. If you like shitty Doom style games and you want to help a fucking very creative person, I love this.
I'm buying it. I bought it. It's done.
The music's good, surprisingly, and like this game. I was so surprised. I'm like, this game's gonna be shit, and I was like watching somebody play it. And I fell asleep while they were playing it because it was like 2 a.m. when I was watching it in the morning. I was like, I should check that out and play it myself. So I only saw the beginning part, and then that was pretty much it. And then so I played it myself, and it was so good. It was so good, Portz. I was genuinely surprised how good this was.
That is awesome. Hell yeah. I was going to say, it is the first podcast of this month. Do you want to pick games for each other? We should have done this for the podcast.
Shit, I didn't even think about this. Fuck.
I would love for that to be my game since I just bought it.
All right, that's your game for me. From me to you.
Yes.
Do you have a game for me?
No, I goddamn super don't. But if you keep talking,
fair.
I might find one.
Okay, that's fair. You could your chore is to try to scramble to find it before the end of the podcast. But that's pretty much it. I played. So I'm at like 104 or 5 games this year now. I kind of stopped keeping track, but yeah.
Did you beat that game as well, Krampus Kills?
Yeah, I beat all 3 of those. So yeah, I'm at 105. Yeah.
God damn.
I know. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
It's fucking crazy. I'm only more than I want to play too, which is fucking bonkers. But yeah, so are you ready for some fucking crazy news?
Crazy news. Is it really crazy, or are you just feeling crazy?
Column A, column B.
Okay.
Column A, column B. Okay, so there is a couple of things that happened this week. I got into an internet argument with a World of Warcraft moderator, which was great and made me laugh on Twitter. And
wait, a mod of the real game or like the Reddit or something?
Oh yeah, no.
Holy shit.
He's like, he does all their forums and shit like that, and I'm assuming he's probably like an admin. But yeah, I got an argument with him, and he was like trying to like badmouth me for like talking about Phil Spencer. I was like, oh yeah, Phil Spencer. He's like, well, Phil Spencer denounced them and then inquired them like 2 days later, started the acquisition to acquire Activision. And I'm like, guess what? Activision has continued to be a shitty company after they acquired them. So he could probably overlook maybe the sexual misconduct and like work on getting those people out of the company and then possibly getting rid of Bobby within a year or 2. And then, yeah, but then I was just, and then I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, well, I still hope Activision rots. And he's like, oh, it was actually this many days. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't change how I feel. I hope that he would have gotten rid of all those people if it continues. And if not, if the deal falls apart, I hope Activision gets fucked. And that's part of the thing this week is Activision. The FTC is
your personal beef is getting fucking vindicated on this.
It feels so good. Activision is like the more I look into the FTC.
Bunny's views are not necessarily held by Ignore the Backlog Incorporated.
Do you feel like Activision deserves to be fucked, Portz?
No. Well, yes, I do. At least as much as they've tried to fuck their employees.
Exactly. And that's another thing that they did. So the FTC is still is starting the procedures, and it looks like the lawsuit is probably going to happen. But also, Activision shut down another union. So the Albany quality, the QA team that they have in Albany, they were starting to unionize, but then Activision stepped in and basically started to shut down everything for it, and the union ended up failing because Activision started threatening individuals and started to file a motion to impound ballots and postpone people's requests and all this other shit, and yep, they succeeded in preventing them from unionizing.
Wow.
Yep. Good job, Activision. You continue to be a fucking piece of shit and continue to burn your boat. I honestly, I kept trying to find more shit. So Activision says that they're going to fight for, try to fight the FTC for the Inquisition to continue.
Yeah.
I don't see anything about Xbox saying that they're going to fight. Which makes me think, okay, their silence and them not really talking about it shows me that they're probably also starting to think maybe they won't either. So, yeah, there's that whole shit show in Shindig. What else came up this week? Xbox is, speaking of Xbox, they're also going to start charging the premium price like everybody else. So you know how Sony and a lot of other game developers have started publishing first-party titles at around $70. Xbox announced it this week at the beginning of 2023. Forza will be their first game that will cost Forza, Redfall, and Starfield will all launch at $70.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have I bought a $70 game? I probably have. I think Callisto was $60.
I thought Callisto was $60.
It's $60.
Yeah.
Probably God of War. I think God of War was $70.
Yeah, I think God of War was $70 at launch.
Yeah.
But that's a Sony game.
Well, no, obviously there's no Xbox games that are
right.
Right. You said they're announcing for 2023.
No,
so.
yeah, 2023.
I'm saying I'm personally fine with it. It seems
it makes
crazy
sense
that it hasn't happened before. Although, let's be real, the reason it hasn't happened before is all the other monetization methods. So.
Right.
If your game is predicated on those other monetization methods, you shouldn't raise the price of your game. I mean,
no.
Your game should really be free if you're being scummy about your shit. But yeah, I don't know. People are saying Callisto probably has some DLC that's gonna like wrap up the story or whatever. I really hate that. Dead Space did the same thing, and I don't enjoy that. I think story stuff should be a side thing that you sell or something, or like a whole expansion, like Baldur's Gate's done that in the past. Like it's like we have a story, but then also there's another one. So I'm fine with it as long as it's the same product that we would have gotten before and not higher price and shit's missing. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, technically Dragon Age did that at launch. Dragon Age launched with a DLC built into it, which I was okay with because it didn't impact the actual main story. Yeah,
you're talking about Awakening?
Yeah, Awakening.
Yeah, Awakening was a totally different. It expanded on some side stuff, really. I mean, it wasn't It wasn't like, hey, you beat the game, and now let's really see what happened at the end. It was like, let's go do a different thing now.
Right, and
which is fine. I like that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that because it didn't bug me.
But if you sell me a $10 ending like fucking Dead Space 3, you can go fuck yourself.
I have a bad feeling that Callisto Protocol isn't going to sell me an ending, but I feel like they're going to sell me the next part of the story and the next part of the story as these little, like, tidbits and, like, a storybook kind of like
when I say the end of the story, I literally mean like an hour and a half of the end of the game. It's not like another game, not another half step of a game. Like, no. You sold me like a couple cutscenes and some shitty gameplay. That was all that was in that DLC, and it was terrible. Although entirely crucial for understanding where Isaac ended up. Crazy. Absolutely disgusting that shit happened.
Yeah.
So as long as we get less of that and more of the Dragon Age Awakening, I'm fine with that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous, but yeah, we'll have to see how it goes and continue. But yeah, they speaking of Callisto Protocol, they did release a statement talking about how the patches are coming up, and their statement was, "We want you to play the game as intended."
What does that mean?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Like Dead Space? Like, do you want me to have more ammo? Is that what they're gonna patch into the game?
Yeah, it's just so weird because like they released a statement on Twitter saying these patches are for all consoles. They should fix the frame rate, crashes, issues. Some of you reported we're listening and working hard. Thanks for your patience. And then Glenn, he's like, we hear you as you say the tweet. We communicate with you all with the updated. We want you to play the game as intended. Glenn Scottlefield, who's I believe the lead.
Yeah, he was the Dead Space guy.
Yeah, and it's just like, I understand that there was a lot of crunch with this game. I understand that. I just wish publishers were different. And I think this is another reason why I'm stepping back from like AAA titles, is because indie devs don't have to deal with this as much. And I don't. That's why I don't mind spending extra money on them. And because like they don't have to deal with crunch, they don't have to deal with like a publisher.
This company shouldn't
have to
deal with this though, right?
They shouldn't.
Published by the fucking PUBG people. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? It's not fucking like Sony putting pressure.
Yeah, it's super weird, but I guess they would have had pressure because this game has made so many changes, right? This game was originally going to be announced as a survival game, and it looked like you were walking through a fucking forest from all the beginning, and that was like
I don't remember that, but that
ago.
is wild. It does feel like a game that hasn't really found its identity.
Right. It felt very fucking weird and half-assed, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? This doesn't seem like a fucking video game. And then it's like, oh, this is going to be in the PUBG universe.
That was wild. I can't believe we were like a bee's dick away from being in the PUBG universe with that game. It probably, honestly, would have been beneficial. Like, what'd they rip out, right? They must have ripped out some, even if it was early on in the writing or like mapping process, but I just wonder, like, and why did they make that decision? Oh God, no clip. Please make a documentary about this fucking game, because
I honestly
there's so many weird decisions that I want to know how it happened. Also, just wrapping up the Callisto Protocol discussion, Sam Witwer deserves a good story-based project that he has not found ever, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's the guy who plays one of the he might be the main antagonist, but yeah, he's
the psychopath guy.
I fucking love that actor. Yeah.
I
first learned of him because he played Doomsday in Smallville.
Okay.
And then he played Starkiller in the Force Unleashed, and then I have not played Days Gone, but that game looks terrible, and he's in that. And then like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is okay. It's really the gameplay that sells that, and the narrative's like, it's Star Warsy stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like power porn. It's like force porn, basically. Like, oh, he ripped a Star Destroyer out of the sky. Like, that's the stuff you go in there for. Not necessarily a nuanced performance from Sam Witwer, but I do believe he's capable of it. And I want him in like a Last of Us or something. He'd be so good.
Oh, that's a good reference. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it wasn't until this year when the trailer dropped back in like State of Play and like June when the game Game Summer Fest, the Jeff Fest, E3 Jeff, G3 was happening. That's when we found out that the whole PUBG idea was scrapped, and then we were getting a Dead Space.
Wow, really? That
remix.
feels like so long ago.
Right?
What is time? Wow.
Yeah, and so that's when they talked about dropping the PUBG title and stuff, because it was announced as a survival horror back in, like, I want to say 2018. Maybe even before that. I don't remember when that trailer was dropped, and I'm trying to find it, but I can't seem to find it. But yeah, I was looking into it, and like, that's when the trailer dropped, and that's when they're like, oh, why did it drop PUBG? We don't know.
Yeah.
We went to that Callisto Protocol goes back to its Dead Space roots, and it's like, oh, okay. I mean, we were all about space hornier and space horror horny and shit, which is fair, but
yeah. I don't know how other people feel, but I don't think the game is very scary. Although I feel that way about Dead Space as well. I don't think they barely fit into the horror genre, which for me is totally fine because I'm more in it for the atmosphere and like the cool sci-fi shit of it. Like the fact that it's horror and survival is like so secondary. I don't really give a shit about those fucking genres that much. So
I think
that doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like jump scares and stuff like that, just like Dead
Does
Space
that get
was.
anyone anymore? I just like who?
It gets me every once in a blue moon, but like Dead Space becomes so fucking repetitive, and that's what I'm afraid that game is gonna become. Is just so fucking repetitive.
Yeah. It's more that kind of shit just gets more frustrating because you're like, I'm trying to take in the atmosphere, and you're like, rah! It's like, okay, all right. Sure. And then you start to see they set it up the same way every time, right? Because there's 6 different ways you can set up a jump scare in this environment.
Guys.
It's like
they're all
vents,
down.
There's vents. There's a doorway behind you. There's a vent. Oh, sorry. There's floor vents. There's ceiling vents. There's side vents, and there's a doorway behind you. Those are the fucking ways that you can reveal something jumping out at you. And that's what they do. And you go, okay, so every time I see one of those things, yes, a ceiling, a floor, or a wall, or a door behind me, you go, okay, something's going to fucking pop out here. Or a corner, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
It's like the bodies on the ground and stuff. And it's like, oh, he's going to pop up. He's going to pop.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they couldn't even come up with new antics. That's the thing. It just feels lazy. It just feels fucking lazy.
Yeah, but what would the scarier thing be? Like I don't know. Eventually, we're just gonna hit every way you could scare a person, I guess, because there's not that many really.
I'm gonna become so fucking jaded.
I mean, the scariest thing that can possibly happen to a normal human being is you're up late at night and you walk out of a room that's been closed, and then the other person you live with, it happens to also get out, and they make a noise, and you go, "Oh shit! What the fuck was that?" That's it. That's the scariest thing that can happen to me in real life. And they just do that in a video game, but then it's a zombie.
I did that the other night. Zachary was in the bathroom, and I was like, "Fuck!" And it's like 3 a.m, so I have to go all the way downstairs to the downstairs bathroom.
Yeah.
Because he's using our bathroom, and then I come up, and as soon as I'm like I'm like hunched over because I'm fucking tired, and I'm just like moseying up the stairs, and he looks over, gets out of the bathroom, and just sees me like hunched over like a little gremlin, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "It's me." It's me.
That's
he's
great.
like, "Oh," and then he's like, "I'm going to bed." And went in his room. Anyway. Okay.
Is that the news? I don't know.
No, there's a couple more things I want to talk about.
I forget what the fuck that was even about.
Jump scares.
That was the
Protocol.
news? Jump scares?
No, but Callisto Protocol talking about how they're trying to patch everything.
Oh, they're trying to patch it, and make the experience that the intended experience
you wanted.
That's such a weird
so
PR way to phrase like we're fixing shit, right? Like at least
it's cringe.
Cyberpunk wasn't like, hey, we're working to get the experience we wanted you to have. Like, what
did you want me to have? A shitty experience?
Like, are you talking about bug fixes? Like, what are we talking about here?
Did you? Oh, you mean the repetitive gameplay? Anyway, I'm fucking angry. And I'm getting drunk. I want to talk about Smash
by the way,
Brothers.
let me know. We'll keep it transparent here on the podcast. Just
Yes.
not for any sort of altruistic reasons, but just because I'm too lazy to try to remember this after. But I thought about preemptively sending this game to you, Callisto Protocol. But then as soon as you were super negative on it, I was like, I shouldn't do this. But if I had beforehand, would that have been fine with you? Like, is that a cool thing to do?
If you would have sent it to me, I mean, I would have played it, and I would have probably taken a shit on my desk and smeared it all over the place.
Which means great. It's great for content. Let's go.
It would have been. Okay. It would have been Evil Space Money turns into a fucking baboon stream. Takes shit and smears it all over her desk.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so I want to talk about Nintendo and Super Smash
Nintendo?
Brothers.
All right, sure, I guess.
Look, listen.
Yeah,
okay?
Reggie's gonna be a playable character.
Yeah, Reggie's gonna be a playable character, but no, Nintendo says it cares about the Smash Brothers fans. But do they really?
No, they canceled the tournament. I heard Ludwig talk about it so many times, and I don't even follow Ludwig.
Mogul Mail, baby. Anyway,
it's the same weekend as his chess boxing tournament. Yeah, or it was going to be. Sorry.
It was. It was. Yes, Smash World Tour SWT, which is one of the biggest Smash events. They had Nintendo's blessing originally.
How much was the prize pool, by the way?
Oh, God, it was fucking ridiculous.
Like $250,000?
It was something huge. It was
nothing compared to Dota. I snoozed when I fucking heard that number. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, who cares?
Yeah,
this is what they're whining about? Oh, my God. It's not even life-changing money. Fuck off.
I mean, for most of those people that just devote themselves to that game still.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. Go play Dota.
Fuck Dota.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so on the day before Thanksgiving, they got a cease and desist saying, stop. Don't do this. And
wait. Where were they getting their money?
So they were getting their money through funding, not even from Nintendo. It wasn't being funded by Nintendo.
I super thought it was through Nintendo, and they oh, Jesus.
Nintendo gave them the blessing, but Smash World Tour has to raise it through like advertisements and like fundraising and all this other shit.
This is so much free advertising. Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing?
It's not sponsored, and that's the big thing. But the thing that seems really kind of scummy is there was another World Cup happening by Panda Global, which is an esports team. But Panda Global has been doing some shady shit, which has caused the CEO to step down, Dr. Allen. And what he was basically doing was bullying smaller Smash Melee contests or like competitions, saying either join us or die.
I'm sorry. This man's name is Dr. Allen?
Yeah, it's Dr. Allen.
And he goes by that?
Yeah, he goes by Dr. Allen.
But he's the CEO of something?
He's the CEO of
Then pick one, Allen. Pick one. Are you going to be a doctor or are you going to be a CEO? Uh-huh.
He's going to be a cringe lord and an asshole.
Jesus Christ. I fucking hate the guy already. I never heard of him.
But he went to Smash World Tour trying to get the broadcasting rights. And they said no. So what did he do? He went behind their backs and tried to get the broadcasting rights directly from their broadcasters. I forgot the name of the company, but basically he was trying to go around them. And also during this time, he was going to these smaller competitions and saying either join Panda Global and become a part of us and be absorbed or die. But he was also saying, hey, Nintendo's going to shut this down soon. Nintendo's only going to go with us soon. It's only going to be one and stuff. Meanwhile, Smash World Tour has been going on for years. It's always had like Nintendo's kind of blessing, but Nintendo has never funded it. It's always been fan funded, which is why the prize pool isn't as big as you think it is. And so they have to raise all that money.
But still, for Smash, that world, it's a big deal.
It's still a big deal, yes.
It's the big deal.
Yeah.
Like, what's the other guy offering? Do we even know?
I don't remember what Panda's prize pool is because I don't think that's going to happen now after this whole scandal.
Oh.
So, what ended up... So what ended up happening was Panda Global released an official statement basically throwing Dr. Allen, aka their CEO, hard under the bus, saying that they didn't realize that this was happening as the company. They didn't realize the CEO was doing this, and basically blackmailing these smaller other competitions. And so they just fucking threw him under the bus. But a lot of people who were a part of Panda Global, including like the number 2 player, have said that they'll never play with Panda. They won't do it. And so a lot of people were dropping out, just dropping like flies. People were quitting Panda. People were dropping out and everything. And this one was being backed by Nintendo. After Nintendo sent the cease and desist to Smash World Tour. And so it's been this whole drama-filled thing. Nintendo released a statement saying, well, we don't support any, we just choose and pick and support depending on how they apply for things. Obviously, Smash World Tour didn't apply for things correctly this time, which is kind of crazy because they've done it for so many years.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. Nintendo really hates Smash. They always say that they like their fans and they support their fans, but at the end of the day, like the Smash developer, the original Smash Melee, has made Melee so not competitive anymore. That's why they continue to play the original as a competitive scene. Because the new ones has so much crazy shit in it that it's
so confused
not
about what you
as
just
viable.
said. You just said that the Smash Melee developer has made Smash Melee so uncompetitive.
Oh, sorry. The newer games and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So as the games have progressed over, they become harder and harder.
It's gotta be like Dota's going through a similar thing where everyone's like, Ice Frog is fucking probably dead or just doesn't work there anymore, and no one's passionate about Dota at Valve because Valve's culture is like, sort of you do what you want.
Yeah.
Within reason, but like no one's passionate about Dota right now. You can
manage yourself. Sort of. And
it's probably the same thing in Nintendo. Where like, who the fuck wants to? God, people still are into that. Like, I get it from like a creative standpoint. I understand. Like, I would want to watch the same style It's Always Sunny episodes forever. But the people making the show, and I know this by listening to the podcast, by the way, it's very good. Are like, we need to switch things up just to stay sane. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Because when I work on the same sort of shit, I'm like, I want to fucking shoot my brains out. And I'm doing nothing, basically, right? Like, I want to constantly evolve and do different things. But so I totally get that.
Yeah. But yeah, to kind of wrap this whole thing off, Dr. Allen has stepped down as CEO from Panda Global. Yeah, I know. And he released a thing
He's
saying...
going to have a great time hanging out with the IM Esports person. It's gonna be a great fucking time to them.
Yeah. He released a thing saying he was stepping down because he's saying that Smash World Tour lied and the leaders in the community are in jeopardy, basically. And he's like, oh, I'll have evidence soon. And like Ludwig obviously said something. And it's like, he's like genuinely looking forward to your evidence. And everybody's like genuinely looking forward to the Mogul Mail breakdown so I can get the TLDR.
Dude, why is no one ever coming with receipts like that? Like when you threaten receipts and you don't just drop them, you have nothing guaranteed.
Yeah, you probably are just like shaking in your boots and hoping this whole thing will blow over like Shaun of the Dead. No. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
There was one quick little thing that I did want to talk about. And it's just more to shit on somebody because I think it's funny.
Is this another personal beef?
No, it's actually not a personal beef because I had high hopes for this, but I genuinely am concerned about the direction that Netflix is taking. Because the CEO Reed Hastings, can't stop talking about video games and how Netflix is now a video games company. But
okay.
Survey says back in August of this year, nobody is playing Netflix games. About 99% of the subscribers may not even know that the
100% that's true. Yeah.
may not even know that the video games exist because they're all on mobile. And they don't advertise them anywhere, which is probably why Netflix is trying to push towards a advertisement program.
Oh.
So they can advertise their fucking shitty mobile games. But the thing is,
like on my shows that I'm gonna watch.
If you save a few bucks and you go with a cheaper plan, you will get ads.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm paying $20 a month.
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, don't do it. That's how I feel.
Woo,
but
I almost saw an ad. Oh no.
Oh my god. I know. I was watching something the other day and it had like Geico ads and I'm like, or not Geico ads, it had Red Bull ads. I haven't seen a Red Bull ad in almost fucking 10 years.
Are they the same hand-drawn weird thing?
Yep.
Yep. Damn.
It was weird.
I turned off my ad blocker to read a fucking Callisto review today.
You're like, oh my god, why is
like,
this
wait,
happening?
This feels dirty. I don't like this.
And so
You're welcome, rock paper shotgun.
But the funny thing is, Netflix has a whole addendum, and maybe they'll make an addendum to how do I say this? Their ideology for mobile games originally was going to be free to play, no microtransactions. So I don't know how they're going to make money from their mobile games. If there's not ads,
I assume they think that people are going to sub to Netflix just for the games?
Ooh, honey.
That's a tough sell, but so is paying a subscription and then also buying shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should just make it free and then have little fucking skins.
They're kind of doing the Amazon thing where it's like, I don't know, we just make money and then we do shit. I don't know.
They're not
every branch itself has to be profitable? Like, what the fuck is this about?
I don't know. I think they're starting to. I don't think they're doing very well as a company for streaming right now.
Yeah, but that's been their story since day one.
Okay, fair enough.
They're still succeeding. They're just failing upwards. It's great.
Oh my god! Everything. Couldn't we fail upwards? Hello.
I would love to. If
you're still listening to this podcast at this moment, please share us right now. Share us with I demand it.
Cancel your Netflix.
Share us with a friend.
Well, you can't really pay us, but you could just retweet a tweet
or two.
That's fine.
Share us with your grandma. I'm trying to get that 60 age demographic again.
We don't want to have our jobs that we currently have, so just figure out a way for us to not have to do that.
Yes, please. Thank you. I just want to be a Mario 64 speedrunner. I'll do it. I
am not doing that. I will.
You could be a Marvel's Midnight Sun streamer.
No one's gonna fucking watch that.
You might be surprised.
I'll play every game on the hardest difficulty from now on. How about that?
Ooh,
I'll be one of those difficulty fucking streamers.
Okay, go.
You know what? I'll stream fucking Souls games. If I get 300 viewers every stream, I'll do it. I don't care.
Souls games and Jump King and getting over it and
sure. Oh my god, my soul is dying. Yep, I'll do it.
That's it for the news. There was something else I was going to say, but I think it was just me being snarky and mad at something on the internet.
Like that, though. You should do it.
I'm too drunk.
But speaking of drunk, we're going to be drunk when this podcast comes out. We should have done this earlier. Fuck.
We should. Maybe you could do a tidbit and insert it at the beginning.
Oh, fuck that. Come on. What, are you going to edit it? Like, come on. I don't have professionals do this for me. I mean, I could make it the intro or something. I don't know.
Oh, also, Portz gave me a game. It's Prodeus. Thank you. That's my game.
Proteus. It's a doomer.
Prodeus.
It's a boomer shooter.
It's a boomer doomer.
It's a really good one, by the way. It came out this year.
I've been wanting to check it out, and I've been lazy to pick it up.
Crucial to my game of the year discussion. So,
okay, I better play it.
Yeah, I figured it would be relevant to the game of the year thing we're gonna do in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks.
And then Thursday, we will I'll be streaming the Game Awards and drinking heavily.
Yeah, I'm going to go get 2
so
bottles
if
of
you're
wine.
listening to this podcast on the 8th of December, 2022,
Please.
then you know to tune in on the same day at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time or whatever, 6-something.
6:30 Central.
Central. Yep.
7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
7, almost at 9. Yep. Time zones. They exist.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tune in and catch the shenanigans.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I also, not through Bunny Stream, but you can register to win a Steam Deck.
Yeah, not through my stream.
So actually, don't even mention that. There's no Steam Decks. Fuck you.
Yeah. Watch us on Twitch, but have Steam up and muted.
True. You could do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. So, there we go. We did it.
Yeah.
Also,
we did it.
Don't
Well, you
forget
could just watch it. You could just capture your fucking Steam thing, right?
Can I? I don't know.
I think so. Why not? It's just a window. You just block out the thing. I don't know.
Fucking fine. Maybe.
I've never watched through Steam, so I have no idea. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch and Twitter at Evil Space Bunny, The Real Portz, and ignore Backlog on Twitter. Thank you.
If you want to keep these podcast hours down, just give us a follow and tell us to keep it shortened.
Shut the fuck up.
If you like shortened episodes, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to extend them for as long as we fucking want.
Anyway.
Those two noises are a good note to end on, I think.
Yep. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.